Hey guys, so now that you have created the map of your country, we are going to be planning out our constitution. All right, so this is going to help us instead of, just saying write your constitution that's going to talk about your government. We're going to kind of plan out the things that we want you to include in your constitution. So there's going to be 6 questions to get your thinking going. And I just want you, again, be creative. There's no right or wrong here, but try to just include enough detail so that it's, we kind of have a little bit of better understanding about your country and how your government's going to be ran. So the first question is going to be, how will you make, enforce, and judge your laws? All right, so there's kind of 3 things you need to think about there. How are you going to make your laws? How are you going to enforce them with your citizens? And then how are you going to judge those laws? So who is going to determine whether those laws are, good laws or fair laws? All right, so you can see my answer here. And I will upload these so that you guys can, so that you can see those and go back and reread my answers. But I just said how we're going to have a group that makes the new laws. Everybody's going to vote on them first, so they're not just going to go straight into effect. I'm going to have police who enforce the laws, stopping people who aren't following them. And then I'm going to have a separate group that makes sure the laws are fair, so separate from the original group that created them. All right, my second question is, what rights will people have? Okay, so that's kind of a big question, but just kind of, include those rights that you come to your mind first. This doesn't need to be, I could probably sit here for a couple hours and talk about the rights that all my citizens have, but I just kind of put the big ones. So they have the right to vote. They could buy a house or a property, with an apartment or something like that. They can say what they want. Of course, I realized I'm not making sense. But they can say what they want, I'm going to say, or disagree. Kind of that freedom of speech. They will also have the right to prove they're innocent if they thought they broke a law. Again, those are kind of just ones that I thought of off the top of my head, the bigger ones. And then what responsibilities will people have? So this one's kind of confusing, and it's just, what will people have to do in your society? So I just said they have to, contribute in some way to improve our country. Whether that be, they have a business and they're making and selling their goods. Maybe they're growing food or getting food for the country. Maybe they're taking care of children, teaching children. Those were just some ideas. So, basically they have to contribute a little bit. All right. My 4th question here is, will you elect leaders? So are you going to have a person or a group of people who are going to kind of be your leaders of your country? So I said yes. We'll have a group that the country chooses. So they kind of pick who they want to lead, and then slowly they kind of vote on that smaller group of people. So kind of different from what we do now, but also kind of the same. Number 5, how will you get people to compromise? So again, that means if there's a disagreement, how are you going to settle that? So I said we'll have a special system that will work with people who disagree, and it's going to hopefully help these people find, something that they both agree on. So, where both parties benefit. That's how my system will work. And then the last one, how will you decide how to distribute resources? So that could be, really anything you need in life. So I said every citizen will get what they need to survive and live comfortably. And then I also said, people can buy or get more resources, but not to the point where it's taking away from other people, if that makes sense. So I can't have somebody who has all the resources and then I have somebody who has none. So those are just examples, but again, get creative. Again, don't spend too long answering these questions. You can go really, really in depth on them, but just kind of give your first thoughts. Maybe 1 to 2 sentences for each question, and then move on. As always, guys, let us know if you have any questions, though.